Hi everyone, I hope you're all well. What I'm going to talk about today is emptiness and that sense of a loss of purpose. This is another thing that I have a lot of experience with. You know, Throughout most of my teens, 20s, and early 30s, I was really lacking a sense of purpose, and my life would seem empty. What was the point to it? And because of that, I would turn to things like alcohol and stuff like that. I mean, it wasn't just that wasn't just the only thing I turned to though. I'd also kind of latch on to careers, new careers. I jumped from job to job, relationship to relationship, and move from place to place. And the idea was that eventually I would kind of find a person, or find a job, or find a place where my life would come together. And that continued, for a very long time. And sometimes a new job will come along, or a new career. I'll have this kind of bright idea, and it would for a few months or even longer, life would seem to have a point to it again. But of course, once I kind of got used to that, once I got used to things, the novelty will wear off, and life would just seem this kind of blah again, this kind of complete. What's the point? This all changed for me about 7 years ago. And it actually, it changed when I moved to where I am now here in Rayon. I mean, it was kind of, things were improving over the years, but a big kind of turning point was when we moved here. And what it was, and nothing to do with the place, by the way, it wasn't this special place that I'd finally found. What actually happened was that I realised what I was doing. And the way I realised was, is that, we live here, in Rayon, in Thailand, and we're right beside this kind of beautiful beach, which is like 10 kilometres of, exotic beach, which I would have thought, years ago would be the solution to all of my problems. And for a few weeks, it actually did seem to be the case. I'd go for these long walks on the beach. It was like being on holiday, and I'd come back all kind of excited and refreshed and full of the joys of life. But then what started to happen as the time went on is I just got used to being on the beach. And the more that happened, the more my kind of mental state returned to how its usual habits, which was quite negative about everything, and that, once again life would seem, what's the kind of point to it? But this time when it happened, I kind of realized what was going on. And I could kind of see clearly, because of all the kind of work I'd done through meditation and the mindfulness practices and stuff like that, I could very clearly see that the problem wasn't the beach, that something had changed in me. And what had changed was that suddenly I was no longer appreciating the beach like I had done before. And I could see that I always relied on novelty to help me appreciate things. That's what kind of got rid of that sense of emptiness. That while there was something new and shiny and fresh, there was something to kind of latch onto. But of course, like when you're not latching on to novelty or freshness or newness, that's never ever going to last. I mean, it's only ever a temporary thing. And I could kind of see right away, that's the problem right there. And I could also see that that it didn't have to be that way. That I'd kind of already developed certain skills that could allow me, and I'd already kind of seen this in practice, but for some reason was just actually applying it to my life that had been a problem, like to my general life. But when I actually practiced those skills that I learned through meditation to my actual life, and did it in a way so as to appreciate my surroundings. Because of course this is something we kind of do in meditation all the time. The way you learn to kind of build your concentration so you can kind of access the deep states of kind of bliss and so on, is by learning to appreciate whatever you're focusing on. That's what keeps your attention on it. So of course a similar thing would apply to our life. So I just started learning to appreciate my surroundings, and I realized that that's something that I could do anywhere, anytime, any place, and it didn't require those places being any particular way. In the same way that for some people, focusing on your breathing, could be incredibly boring and dull, and what's the point in that, point in that. But the amazing thing is that when you do it, and when you learn to kind of really appreciate doing it, it leads into these kind of incredible states of stillness and peace. And the exact same thing happens out in the world, wider world as well. So that was that feeling of emptiness resolved. And when I'm talking about emptiness here, I want to be very clear. There's different types of emptiness. There's another emptiness that's incredibly wonderful, and I'll talk about it elsewhere. Here I'm just talking about that kind of general feeling that we refer to as emptiness. The what's the point feeling, for want of a better word. So the other issue was that sense of a loss of purpose. But the fantastic thing was that once I kind of solved the feeling of emptiness, the sense of loss of purpose also resolved, very quickly. Quickly after that, not quickly as in, it took decades to reach that point, but quickly as in once I had that realization. Because it's like that sense of purpose just took care of itself. Because, see, the problem was I was using everything in my life to fix me. And that's not what they're for. Relationships are not to fix us. Jobs are not to fix us. Moving places is not, the point isn't to fix us. They can't, not long term really, unless it's kind of we're in danger or something. But the problem was that the reason there was a sense of kind of lack was because that's what I was using it for. I was using everything as a kind of medicine, things that weren't meant to be medicine, to fix my loss of purpose. And what I realized was that the sense of purpose is a form of kind of creativity. It's our way of being in life. Now, yes, and in my case, creativity was kind of involved stuff like writing, but it was a lot more than that. But it doesn't have to be. Now, we associate creativity with creating art. But really what I'm talking about here is this way of expressing ourselves. And our creativity could be anything. It could be anything, whatever we're doing and the way we do it. That we do it in such a way that it's kind of an expression of ourselves. So for some people that can be stuff like running, like walking, whatever, it's everything. And we start to find that, or this is what I find, and I suggest, other people will feel the same way, that basically the purpose to life is to appreciate it and to express ourselves in our own unique way, whatever way that is. Whether it's stamp collecting or trains, it doesn't matter. That's what gives life its purpose. That's what gives us our joy, and that's how we find peace. So I just thought I'd share that with you today. While I have your attention, one of the things I do, I work with people online, and I do coaching. And so dealing with this stuff like emptiness, dealing with anxiety, all of that kind of stuff, it's stuff I've had a lot of experience with, and I've been doing for many years. So if that's something you're interested in, please look at the link below the video, and you can find out more information by visiting my website. Also, guys, please, give a like. Thanks for all you that've done that already, and all of you guys who've subscribed. I'm always kind of delighted when I look and see a new subscriber. It makes my day. So thanks very much, guys, and I hope you all have a wonderful time wherever you are, and that you get a chance to kind of appreciate your surroundings, because I promise you, what a difference that'll make to your life. Huge, huge difference. Okay, guys, see you again.